Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the Week 11 super secret sim stream where myself, Brian Hooper, and Nerdy Tenor run the sims from Dan's top secret NORAD bunker somewhere in the Peloponnesian Mountains. You guys will never know where the data is coming from. We are going to be solving the Week 11 Battle Royale slate via the computer. We hope that you hang out with us for the next couple hours.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer.
Nope. How we doing, guys? Week 10 is over. Dan, did you just happen to check on Monday and realize you won $5,000 again, or were you not that lucky this week?
I was not very lucky this week. Looking at my records on the Battle Royale, I turned $182 into $56.
Brian gave me a good bad beat story on the endgame stream yesterday. He did, guy showing you his 8-leg parlay in the bar. He was like, look, dude, I hit the first 3 legs of this parlay. I just needed like 3 more things to happen, and I was a millionaire. So that was fun. I mean, honestly, Brian, I would love for you, like the idea of you kind of casually playing these games and then becoming a fantasy douche, like someone who wants to tell you about their fantasy team. I love that idea. I every week, I want you to be like, dude, if I just went the other way on this 2v2, I win all the money. I win all the money if I go the other way on the 2v2.
I mean, I did. I would have, honestly. There is a lot of more incentive when you do a show every week on it. You know, it's like, I want to win one of these.
Yeah.
It would be nice. We can take a look at my results here.
But let me tell everyone about my bad beat story. So
please. I have like 3 things I need to do behind the scenes. So please tell the people about your bad beat story.
So I hit.
Can't wait to hear this.
You guys are going to be so enthralled. I promise. It was Mahomes, Kelsey, and Bijan in the early games. So basically 3 out of 3.
Sweet.
James Conner. So 4 out of 4, and then CeeDee Lamb and Garrett Wilson. If I just go the other way on that 2v2, Davis, I'm not even sure there's anything I could have done there. CeeDee Lamb, who could I probably could have taken someone instead of CeeDee Lamb, right?
You wouldn't have you could have taken anyone over CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb was not in demand.
Except maybe like Jefferson might have went in front of him.
No, CeeDee Lamb was like a 3rd-round pick last week.
Was he?
Yeah. Because Cooper Rush was his quarterback.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And you probably took Garrett Wilson with your 2nd-round pick. So you also could have had anyone you wanted over him. Not that you would have. Because you were drafting those Sunday morning on the stream here. So you were probably mostly just hewing towards ADP.
Kind of. Yeah.
Well, I mean, nothing really gets the
point is I was robbed, Davis.
The point is you were robbed. You played well. The only reason you didn't win, if there was no luck involved, you'd never lose, Brian.
Right. I would have won that.
And as we all know, gambling games fundamentally are about justice, right?
Right.
Correct. I mean, that is true. And not to belabor the point, but again, you will be able to spend those Sklansky dollars as legal tender starting in January.
Right.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, I've got it written down.
Got a big backlog of Sklansky bucks to check to cash in for sure.
Correct. All right, guys. So I did not do well last week, obviously. I don't really know why. I think something that I did, and I think you can see the bifurcation of my results. These are all Jalen Hurts teams there at the top, basically. Bifurcation is not the right word. I just like that word. What I did last week that is pretty bad, that I'm going to make a conscious effort not to do this week, is the slate was bad. There were not very many appealing options. The combos that were quote unquote appealing were getting absolutely pumped in every draft. They were just getting slammed time and time again. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do some weird shit. I'm going to do a Baker Mayfield Sterling Shepard stack. I'm going to do a Joe Flacco 80 Mitchell stack, like basically the equivalent of, kind of what we were talking about in the end game stream. Yes, just scrolling way down, scrolling down too far. Obviously, there is a point in scrolling. There's a point at which people are, well, just because the first thing is true, the first thing being the field is overdoing these high projected combos. These combos are in a 2-own, doesn't mean that Baker Mayfield and Sterling Shepard is a good combo that should ever enter into the conversation, basically. So I think that is part of why I got so drained last week. The other part was it just any Jalen Hurts team was like so dead.
When you see a similar dynamic in traditional DFS too, where let's say a particular position is particularly unattractive in baseball. Let's say there's just nobody good at
it's always second base and shortstop. So you end up with Nicky Lopez and Ezekiel Tovar with the Rockies on the road as the chalk, even though they're just ass.
Right. So like I feel like there's this psychological need for comfort there that pushes people toward like the least bad thing. Like it seems like a very strong anchoring effect where it's like, I have all these shitty options, so I better just take something that's the least shitty. And that can be a big leak at the level of the field. So I think your intuition is good. It's like there's not much good in this range. People are getting way too much of it. But the counter move is just maybe to not push so hard against that.
No, the counter move is to draft good players. Like the counter move is like, what would Sterling Shepard ever have to do to get there in this form of contest? It would have to be the best game he's ever had in 7 years. Like the Juwan Jennings week, I think like the Juwan Jennings week maybe taught a bad lesson, which is like, oh, you could just scroll down for any player, and if they're the player you need, then you just auto win. Like, yeah, this, and I mean, this. Look, JMC was the winner of the Dog Bowl last week. How far to scroll and how often to scroll is the skeleton key. Absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah.
The winning team, by the way, just a stone normal team. Just like fully by ADP, nothing totally weird.
Vanilla.
They took Bijan at ADP. They took Hurts then depending on when in the week they did it, they drafted. Maybe they would have gotten a little bit lucky with Kelsey falling. Like that combo wasn't available 100% of the time. Then they did London. Then they did Pickens. Then they selected last week's Ramondre Stevenson, James Conner. Beautiful.
Yeah, kind of low scoring actually.
Well, it was 178 points won the salary cap DFS Millie Maker. Like neither wide receiver at 20 points. Actually, for about 80% of the slate, a 2 tight end team was winning. A Kittle Kelsey team was winning. After I had looked at it and said, never do it. It's terrible. Obviously, it's awful.
Oh, let me see what my numbers. So I ran my Sims pretty early this morning, so it's giving me 0.5% tight end flex.
So that's actually higher than last week.
Was it 3.3 last week?
0.4.
Yeah, very low.
Yeah.
I think you get it more. So when I sim out the qualifiers, which is 12 man, I think you get it let me see if I can find that. I think I just posted that. You get a little bit more.
Well, that would make sense because it's been a very big.
You get 1%, so twice as much, but it's still a very low number.
That is kind of funny because it has been a big year in salary cap DFS for 2 tight ends, which is just, because of the constraints. I just find that big year for Cade Otton, big year for Cade Otton. All right,
it's so hard to get 2 good ones in a draft with 6 players, right?
Correct.
That's the thing.
What was I about to say? Oh, do we have anything new cooking with?
No, I think I'm focusing development efforts elsewhere. I'll probably have some more ability to slice and dice the data. Is probably the thing I would do next. Get more out of what I've already done.
Okay.
But quick quiz before we draft you. So as you know, Cardi's projections are one of my sources. After Christian McCaffrey, who do you think the running back 2 is, according to my stuff, given that Cardi is in there?
Let me pull up the rankings. Oh, Kamara.
Correct.
For sure. Yeah.
Part 2 of this question. If I take Cardi out of my projections, who is the number 2 running back then?
Well, I know that I just did the DFS preview, and ETR is the other input.
There's ETR is one. There's more than that. Yeah, ETR is.
I would assume it's still Kamara.
It's still Kamara. That's correct.
Yeah.
Even without Cardi's. So Cardi has Kamara a couple points higher than the industry right now, but even without that, so when we run this, it's going to give us Kamara everywhere except when we have the one. So we're going to have to decide what to do about that. Yeah.
So I think that is actually a great talking point, because that is where it deviates from your computer to knowledge of the game, which is that what is going to project better, taking Kamara at 1 and taking whoever's available in round 2, or taking Devon Achane and then taking Alvin Kamara. Combo 2 is going to project way better. Combo 2, like Devon Achane and Alvin Kamara, is going to project better than Alvin Kamara and Jahmyr Gibbs, for example.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
If we can get Kamara late, we'll get some Skolanski bucks. Is what
for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's listed, the ADP right now is around 8.5 or something.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. So we're gonna have some choices there.
Do you want to go over some combos really quick?
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
We added the 3-player combo thing. Problem with the 3-player combo thing is probably not
off reference.
It's much harder to get accurate.
Yeah.
But who do you think would be up there? Combos.
Cards on the table. I've only done about 15 of these this week. I'm a little behind, so my no draft, no ball is going to be a little bit lighter. I'll be correcting the computer some, but not a ton, I think, relative this week.
Well, I'll just tell you then.
Okay, hit me.
Bowers, Taylor, Lamar Jackson.
Bowers, Taylor, Lamar. Oh, okay.
That's the highest right now.
Huh.
Some other guys up here like Zay Flowers, Jackson Hall, Bowers, Zay Flowers, Bijan.
Okay.
St. Brown, Hall, Goff.
St. Brown, Hall, Goff.
So that's pretty interesting.
That is.
I wonder, my thought would be, I don't know how actionable the 3-man stuff. The 2-man stuff, I think we should still consult. The 3-man with the information available. I mean, look, the contest is not even 10. Is it even 10% full yet?
I think so. I think it's like 15.
Yeah. So 15% full. I think that's a good amount of drafts to be thinking about the 2-man combos, but maybe too early for the 3-man combos. What are your thoughts on that, Brian?
I would just still try to avoid it. Why not? I mean, it might
be pretty easy to. The good thing is it should be pretty easy to avoid a 3-man combo.
Because the strategy you're doing to avoid these combos is what Dan and I have said a bunch of times. It's like compared to what? It's like we're never getting out of line. Like you don't just fade the obvious best pick that's fallen to you because the combos are a little high this time of the week. But if you can pick someone else and Dan says, here's 4 names, they're all about the same, then don't take the one that we think might be taken too much.
Too often, yeah.
But if you have a real good player take, then just take them.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I will probably. They just launched. Underdog just launched their playoff contests.
Oh wow! I need to go in. I need to look at that. Yeah, if I were to develop anything new this season, it would be for that.
Yeah.
That's
set up.
I literally can't even find it.
God,
that's set up for you, Dan.
Yeah, the thing is, you have to do a multi-layered sim, right?
So we've got
games and players.
22,500 entrants, max entry 150. $5. How much to first? Yeah. 10K to first. I will be playing. I'll be playing in these contests, I think.
It's a funny dynamic too. You have to. I was just reflecting on some of the comments, where you're like, well, I don't want to enter too early and be like a big dog when there's more information. But if you're confident it's going to fill super early anyway, then you're not then you're okay because everyone else is going to have the same problem, right?
Yep.
I don't know. What's your feeling on how long it'll take for one of those to
It'll
22K to like how long though?
This like dude, this is half the size of the BR this week. It's gonna snap fill. That like these are going to they are. So Nez is making the correct point that they don't want this to be open forever.
Yeah, and the next one will be a little bigger probably.
Well, then you don't have to worry about informational disadvantage, weeks from now.
Yeah, I will. If I can carve out an hour this afternoon after I get some other stuff done, I will come back on live again and stream some more. The 3-man, 2-man combo data comes from the Draft Caddy. You can sign up for that with a link that is in the description of this program. You can sign up for it at endgamesyndicate.com. A link to it I just posted in the chat. Let's do it. That's enough. That is enough preamble. That is enough rigmarole. Let's fire.
Oh, no.
Location permission. It's just nothing more tilting, honestly.
No, I just want to yell at the computer. I'm right here.
It's such a frictionless. It's such a frictionless experience on Underdog 99.7% of the time that with the moment that it is not, if you generate friction, it just becomes so annoying.
Yeah. So it's going to tell you to take Kamara every time it's your pick unless you're first. So
I'm gonna take Devon Achane.
Okay. So I will cue that up.
What Dan, what I will say though is once we get to pick 5, I'll just take him every time. We can just so you could start cooking it that way because I got no issue there.
Okay.
And as long as, but I want Devon Achane and I want Justin Jefferson teams. I don't wanna...
So you could take him into 5 or 6, and then also if he comes back around to you in the second round, probably inclined to take him then.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. Brian, what would you do? Would you
I was
just
reading
take
the comments. What did you say?
Yeah, people appreciated my promo for the Draft Caddy. If we were drafting on your account, would you just take Kamara? You say, "Oh, we got a Lamar Jackson 101." Let's see what old JMC does here. He's gonna take okay. We're gonna take Achane.
Okay.
You can get that on patreon.com/Davis Mattek. We are gonna do once we get once we get a full rollout of all the new appointees, Brian and I will get a podcast episode in. Well, we might get Kamara in this room. We'll see. I mean, Patrick Barnes YouTube, big friend of the show. Nez is here as well. All right, he takes Bijan.
Okay. So Kenneth Walker currently leading. Jahmyr Gibbs next.
That looks both those. Gibbs is higher.
Puka is up there.
Gibbs is higher than Walker.
Jonathan Taylor is up there.
So Walker or just not Gibbs, it looks like.
Okay. Puka.
We selected Puka Nacua.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I know it's good because I did it. Yeah. I think my here's my no ball take of the week.
Okay.
We'll get it in early. Devon Achane is gonna do what he did against the Broncos. He's scoring 40 dog out points this week, maybe more.
I'm still mad about Broncos Chiefs. So mad.
Are you like a real Broncos fan, Dan?
Oh, only partially. My wife is more into it than I am, but there was a lot of yelling in her house.
I was trying to explain to my wife what happened because like I'm a Chiefs fan and she's like, why are you so pissed off? And I'm like, they're about to lose to the freaking Broncos. This is like unbelievable. And then I just start like cackling. I'm just like laughing. She's like, wait, what do you mean? what happened. And I'm like, I can't even tell you how preposterous what just occurred in that game was.
Yeah. Okay, it's giving you a list of running backs here. Brees Hall, Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker.
I knew Brees Hall was going to be back on the menu.
They're all pretty tight. Aaron Jones, Hall, Walker, Taylor. It's kind of indifferent between them at the moment. That's
I'll do Brees. So right. I'll find that. I think that is a super interesting strategy spot because that is not going to be the way people play it. People are when they take a running back first, they take a wide receiver and then a tight end or a wide receiver because they're like, oh, I can just scroll down for a running back. I can just scroll down for DeAndre Swift. I can just scroll down for I guess no James Conner this week, but like the round 6 pick being the quarterback and the running back is so straightforward. I also really hate this week how expensive Purdy is. Purdy is always such a nice fallback option, so having to take him in the 3rd round sucks.
Yeah. So my sim has him taken relatively early, although not as early as the field seems to be doing it. Yeah.
Achane and Hall combo wise looks really good too so far.
That completely makes sense. Yeah.
I'm liking this. I'm liking the combos so far.
All right, liking the combos.
And did we ever get like a guess at what? We'll do this first.
Okay. It's saying Drake London, and then Evan Engram, Njoku, Engram, Hawkinson. Yeah, it wants to do tight end now, it seems to me. And likes Njoku a little bit better.
Njoku's better for combos if you're going to go tight end, but London's good too.
All
right, we'll do Njoku. Dan, you got to put into your computer though, don't you know that Patrick Surtain is going to shut Drake London down?
I'd love to see it. I'll have my Patrick Surtain jersey on. I do own one. Take that, Brian.
Take that, Brian.
It was a gift. I didn't pay for it myself. I have that.
Next week, I'll wear my Mahomes jersey. You can wear your Surtain jersey, and Brian can wear his Gale Sayers jersey because that is the appropriate.
Buckets. I have a Buckets jersey.
I mean, I think Surtain might be the best Bronco right now. There's one of them.
Yes, he definitely is. Dan, I don't even know how to answer this.
We get them from your mom, Daniel.
Yeah. Secret sauce, brother. Secret sauce.
Classing up the stream. Let's go.
Can't get any more classier than it was last week. We taught so many people who were not woke about raw milk and seed oils.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. Now it's saying Drake London here. It's saying Drake London. Okay, we're ignoring that. Shakir, London. It's liking the most at the moment. And then you could take a quarterback here, but it's stupid. I wouldn't do it. Adams is appearing. What's the deal with Adams' injury? Do you know?
I think he's fine. I'm gonna IKB the computer. I'm gonna do a little IKB there.
Jaden Reed.
I'm gonna take Jaden Reed. Yeah. He was gonna ignore football today, bro. But then
the title got him.
The super secret sim solves fantasy football
forever.
Next time you should say once and for all. Maybe for the last one of these.
Once and for all. Yeah. Once we get the playoff stream. Once we get the playoff stream, then it'll be once and for all.
I'm telling you, Davis, these sims will get you laid.
Yeah, that's really the takeaway. You should be pushing.
Seed oils are bad for you, bro. Seed oils are bad for you.
You want a full hour of Davis talking about seed oils? You're gonna get it.
You're gonna
take my seed oil out of my cold dead hands. No.
Well, seed oils lead to cold dead hands, so
maybe I'll get my wish. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
what does it want us to take? Stafford, Jameis, or Love?
It says Knicks love Stafford at the moment. Now it says love Winston Stafford.
Yeah.
Now it says love Stafford Winston. It's hopping around. Love is winning.
That
Love conquers all. Sorry.
Does it know Love is due?
Yes, obviously.
I'm doing Jameis.
He went to Winston. Wow. He hates money.
Yep.
I didn't know Jordan Love was due.
Jordan Love's due, yeah.
Hitting it out of the park with this first draft. No, just kidding. It thinks $2.81 for this.
Ugh.
Because it doesn't know about Jaden Reed.
It doesn't know.
If I would have this is how fucking fickle it is. If I would have taken Khalil Shakir, who's like truly useless in half point PPR, it would have been like, you're the greatest drafter on earth. You just made $27. You paid for your coffee for the day.
Nice. I'm gonna get more mouse batteries. I'll be right back.
All right. Now we gotta make up this EP.
JMC, I am nothing if not a contradiction, sir.
Yeah.
And also you were gonna get very woke. You're gonna get very woke to Jameis Winston, I predict.
That's what you said like 3 weeks ago.
And he's been great.
No, he had one good week.
He was really bad against the Chargers. Everyone's really bad against the Chargers. It's a good defense. They play a lot of zone. Jameis Winston can't really handle the zone. That's not his thing. Grow up, Dan. Or Brian.
You need to have takes to do your show and your career. So I'm glad you have takes. But getting in a $2.20 EV.
Once I took Jaden Reed, it was not going to.
I know.
give
Well,
me
why
a
did you
positive
do that?
EV.
And then you didn't even do Love.
Well, I mean that's negligible. Also, whatever the Jaden Reed optimal is, like Jaden Reed stacked with Love versus Jaden Reed naked. The Jaden Reed with Love is going to be way higher than the optimal rate. The Jaden Reed naked rate is going to be way lower, in my opinion.
It's Jewish McCaffrey asking if he made 50 cents. No, I really liked his team.
Well, shocker. He took Khalil Shakir.
And he got McCaffrey
After ADP.
After ADP. Yeah.
Well, when you have a donkey in your draft is giving away $5.
Yeah, I'm giving away EV.
somewhere.
All right, Brian. By the way, you remember the last time I said Jaden Reed was a skeleton key and he scored 32 points and he was the wide receiver 19.
That's right. Okay, fair enough. I like Jalen. I do like Jalen Reed. But I like when the machine tells me I did.
I
good.
do. I like. It's like honestly, like after doing that, I'm like, all right, fine. I'll just take Khalil Shakir or whatever.
Yeah, I want
the computer to tell me I won $17.
Right. Tell me I'm good.
Speaking of seed oils, one of my buddies from the gym just brought me some venison, freshly hunted, hand killed. We talked about hunting last week.
Mm-hmm.
I have some fresh venison in my refrigerator waiting for me. It's gonna be nice. You can't complain about that.
What is it? Is it just like the jerky stuff, or do you got something to cook?
Ground process. Yeah.
Well, you're personal friends with Joe Rogan, huh?
What if? Yeah. Yeah, he's got me woke to a turcosterone. Isn't Rogan a big supplement sales guy?
Yeah, like turkey testosterone, like fake replacement or something.
Yeah. All right, you know what? I'm gonna take Justin Jefferson. Just tell me how much money I'm losing that.
So the drop from Kamara to the next best, which we already know about,
$1 billion,
like $2.50. The jump from that guy to Jefferson is like 50 cents or something. So, it's within the realm of noise and accuracy, probably. Can't be ignoring the Kamara question. It can't be that bad.
Jefferson do though. So
dude, there's
totally.
My God, there is there's no one more due. Maybe Jordan Love. Here's the thing. I always call it venison because my family didn't eat deer. We're city folk. And I learned about venison from reading Robin Hood. And they called it venison in Robin Hood. So
Yeah, I think it is a way to make it sound less like you're killing the cute little
you don't
deer.
want libs to be like, why are you killing a deer?
Right.
You know? We might be able to get Patrick Barnes YouTube. Yeah, I knew
We missed out. Patrick Barnes, of course.
Okay, this
I'm hunting again.
This is interesting. It's saying Kelsey, Kenneth Walker, Brees Hall, and Lamar are the winners at the moment. Lamar, Hall, Walker, Kelsey is the order right now. Now it's Hall, Lamar.
Don't
Walker.
do Hall.
Okay.
Big shocker. Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelsey. Where do I get my ideas?
You did Kelsey? You did
Yeah.
Kelsey? I mean, at least it's low owned.
Okay, Josh Allen is another thing I'm never going to get using my stuff because it's usually going to recommend Purdy first.
Josh Allen, I mean, look, famous last words. He can always get there. He's got to be the worst pick on the board this week.
Yeah, we're never going to get him using my stuff. So it's right now it's saying Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker. And then there's a drop. Oh, not much of a drop. Drake London, Devontae.
I'm going to take Kenneth Walker because Kenneth Walker is this week's James Conner, where you could take him whenever you want. The computer wants him in the second round, and you could just get him at your leisure.
Dan, I don't know if you could do this, but I'd love to see a I don't know, like a heat map or something, maybe. I don't know, of optimal combos of the first like 2 rounds or 3 rounds or something.
That's a really good idea, actually.
Yeah, because so I'm looking at the combos here, and Kelsey is with Walker 21% of the time.
Okay.
That still seems high to me, but
I mean, if they're both drafted 100% of the time, and it were
Right.
totally random,
Mhm.
we would expect 18.3, right? So that's only a little above average.
Is it 18.3?
6 times 18.3 is 100, right? No, wait, I've got it wrong. I can't do it. 16.6, excuse me. I'm typing as I do math. So yeah, that's a little on the high side. So the average, the quote unquote average 2-person combo where they're both drafted 100% is 16.6. So that is a little higher than you would expect, yeah. By a
But then we have ADP to deal with. Well, we got to make a pick here.
Okay, it's saying Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, small drop, Josh Jacobs, James Cook. Likes Taylor and Jones the best right now.
Man, Taylor is that's also a very James Conner ass pick this week. No one wants to click him, but man, he could probably run 32 times this week, I think.
Uh-huh. So we learned that
the Sims are Dan has a fundamentals of tackling button.
dude, I get out there with the sim and we run drills together. Put the pads on and we're just pushing those things around.
All right,
Okay.
I want Drake London.
This is weird. Oh no, it's not weird anymore. It's saying Adams and then some quarterbacks, which makes no sense, and then Drake London, and then Shakir. I don't know. You could take Mahomes if you wanted to here. Adams and Mahomes are winning.
We'll do Adams.
Okay. Yeah,
No, AR being back really helps JT. He averages like 2.5 yards more per carry when Richardson's on the field.
It says the computers can't see the dead look in Devontae Adams' eyes last week. So,
Dude, he
I gotta add that
was
to the
he was so bad in that game. He was like point shaving. It was like really unbelievable stuff.
Jeez, I did not see that one.
No, it was about as bad as it gets.
Wow.
All right, everyone. The Week 11 NFL DFS video just published. Surprise guest. No Jacob Sanderson this week, fellas. So go and get that, and then immediately come back here. Don't spend a single moment of your waking hours not on this YouTube channel. Basically, is the subtext of that. Cool. What is it going to want us to take? Pat? It's going to want us to take Darnold, Rodgers. It's going to be Pat.
Oh no.
For sure.
Here, can you bring up the board real quick just so I eliminate some things? Okay. Jameis goes. Oh yeah, I can start solving because they all picked their quarterbacks. Sorry about that. Okay. Right now, Darnold is winning.
That's so funny.
Yeah. It's Darnold and Mahomes are now dead against dead heat right now. Now Mahomes is winning. But it's those two guys neck and neck, and then a drop, and then it's like three random guys. It's like Mahomes, Darnold, and then gap, and then it's Bo Nix, Aaron Rodgers, Geno Smith.
We took Pat. Although I have been thinking
ended up 3 cents better. 3 cents better than Sam Darnold at the end.
All right, how rich are we? Brian needs to know. Brian needs to know that we're back. Brian needs
Okay,
to
you
know
want to take your guess for what I think EV is?
I'm gonna guess.
Not profit, like the value of the lineup. So $7
without Alvin Kamara, it's gonna think that this team is worth $6.11.
$7.74.
$14.54.
All I had to do was, instead of taking Jaden Reed, I just take Devontae Adams. There you go. Easy. Free. All right. Well, there we go. Battle Royale, Week 11. Still $7.
Same exact payout structure as last.
Yeah, I would prefer, again, especially now that I'm going to have to start directing a bunch of liquidity to the playoff contests. I would love for it to be. I would love for it. I mean, it's just like, dude, that's like $1,000 a week in this. Probably allocate $4,000 for playoff contests.
Yeah, starting to get to be real.
I'm just a normal working class guy, you know. It's a lot of money to be dedicating to taking Xavier Worthy in the 10th round of playoff best ball contests. Yeah, the EV of the second round Kamara teams is going to be big. Now
we have a chance to do that here, right?
We might. Well, although no, Patrick Barnes YouTube is gonna nab him
on the turn, probably.
Yeah.
There's no way to avoid him, huh?
I wonder. So it's like, this is the question: is Patrick Barnes YouTube? Is he a streamer, or does he call it YouTube because all he does is lurk? YouTube. He must just watch this show. He must watch Pete. He must watch the Badge Bros. He must just be on YouTube drafting all the time.
Right. His entire edge is just streaming everything and like
snapping off all the streamers. Yeah.
Davis, if Davis has been losing, doesn't that mean he's been gobbling up some EV?
I saw this dude's Jefferson went. So you know what? Let's just take Kamara.
Yeah, sure.
So I can't remember if it was NBA or if it was NFL, but he was way up there in one of the most recent slates I played.
Uh-huh.
Another I'm only playing about 20 entries, but another 0% ROI NBA slate last night. I must have messed up my swaps.
Oh, that's frustrating. I didn't have time to play yesterday.
Not mess up my swaps, but I just didn't have this. I didn't have Jared McCain or whatever you needed to have in BR last night.
Yeah. All right. Oh, that's interesting. Tyreek Hill. Brees. Okay, he disappeared, but he's probably a low percentage mix.
Yeah, I love. Actually, Brian, we gotta take Lamar.
Lamar is probably fine too.
Lamar,
Yeah.
he just doesn't go this late.
Okay, that's fine. You're not giving up a lot, according to the computer, doing that. Just a little.
101. Oh yeah, Giannis scored 97 points. I went to bed early.
He did. Absurd.
The 101 in playoff best ball has to be. It's got to be McCaffrey. It's McCaffrey or Kelsey. Maybe Josh Allen.
Oh. I have to look at the playoff odds for all these teams too. I think.
So the thing is the playoff odds are going to swing big time on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
If the Bills win that game, they're drawing live to the 1 seed. If they lose that game, I don't really see how they get the 1 seed.
Okay.
Can't be Jefferson. The Vikings could like legitimately miss the playoffs.
Yeah. So I would imagine I've spent no time studying the playoff format, but just thinking out loud, and this is probably master of obvious. I imagine once you decide to take a player from a team that might not make it, now you're incentivized to take more.
You got to go all in.
From that team. It's like stacking a bad team in baseball. Like you don't take just one. It's saying Walker again here. It really likes Walker at this spot.
Don't take Puka, Davis.
Walker, and then a drop, and then Taylor Jones, and then a drop, and then Puka.
Whatever. I can't find a fucking winner, so I'm just listening to the computer.
Okay, good. Yeah, take Walker
Fair
over Taylor and Puka.
Brian, I do want it on the record. That combo that we would have just had would have been Giga unique.
No, it's not.
It's gonna want.
I need to see. I missed something. God
Oh,
damn it.
sorry.
Puka and Lamar are 26%.
Not with Kamara.
Oh, God damn it.
No, but just because Jackson and Kamara are low.
Oh wait, okay, we're okay. It likes Devontae, it likes Njoku, it likes Drake, it likes Garrett Wilson.
Too late. My fingers died. Yeah, Brian, but we already have.
It doesn't matter if it's the same EV. Then it doesn't matter. You take the lesser use.
But we already have an insane. Like obviously taking Walker there was fine, but we have an insanely low combo already.
So why not do better? I mean, why not compete against less lineups for the same price?
Because I like more points.
He thinks there's a sacrifice there.
I'm saying you're not sacrificing any.
I just like Puka better.
What do you think Flowers Jackson optimal is? I would guess like 30
high, yeah.
38.
I can look that up after.
Look that up, and then I'll tell you what.
I'll look it up after this draft. There's a little bit of nuance there because I think I said this maybe last stream or 2 streams ago. If you look at the percentages of drafts in my stuff, it doesn't exactly mean that it's optimal. It means that when people are optimally playing, that's how often it got there. It could be that stacking Zay Flowers is better than not. It's just the percentage is reflecting the fact that sometimes you can't get to it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just because it says, 30% with, 70% without, doesn't necessarily mean it's indifferent. It just means that's what you get when you play against players playing like itself.
Right. So it could theoretically be higher.
Yeah. Yeah, it could.
We're projecting 42% right now. So my guess is that's probably about right. We'll find out.
Okay, we're up. So now it's saying
Njoku.
It is. Or Ingram. And then Zay Flowers is 3rd in the list.
Let's do Evan Ingram. Ingram is he's
indifferent between those 2 options at this point in the
Evan Ingram is the eat your vegetables Michael Leone play of the week.
So this is a perfect example. So do you think Ingram and Njoku are about the same, Davis, in your head?
No, Njoku's better.
I mean, like points wise this week.
Yeah, Njoku it should be better. Should be
like how much?
Like I don't know, 0.78.
Okay. Well, Lamar and Njoku are picked together a decent amount. Ingram and him are not. So
Well, that makes
they were
sense. That
about
they
the
would be
same.
picked together because they're both 100% drafted. So they should be picked together at least 16% of the time.
I'm not sure. Is he 100%?
Njoku, yeah, tight end 4, maybe he's 90%.
Okay, it likes Zay. It likes
86%.
Devon. It likes Zay. It wants to stack Zay here, but it's not a huge delta.
No, I'm taking him.
Yeah, it's about $1. So, well, less than $1 actually. So okay, estimate this EV. I'll give you a hint. It's less than the last team.
It didn't like Debo.
No, it likes this team, just not as much as the last one. So
$11.
Yeah,
$11.47 in honor of our new president. 47 cents.
$10.
12. Yeah.
Okay.
12. All
Not bad.
right. So
All right. Let's
that's
look at the
something for
combos there. You wanted to see.
Yeah, something for the numerology bros.
Zay Flowers. I'm gonna guess it says 37%.
Okay, which way are we looking? We're saying of the ones that have Lamar, how many have Zay?
No, just all of them.
Okay, so how many?
You do it. It doesn't matter. We'll figure
Okay,
it out.
how many drafts have a Lamar Zay combo?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. Okay, and now.
And yours will be lower than reality. So
Yeah.
almost definitely.
Okay, now let me do a little math. 100 times 64. Wait, what? 100 epics.
I do love that stack this week. I think George Pickens, wide receiver 4, seems wild to me.
43% of drafts in my stuff have Lamar and Zay.
Wow.
That's really
42.
Oh,
Projecting 42. So
right on the number.
that's So that's a good stack still. Because it's probably in reality should be even higher than that.
When was the last time Lamar on the week 9 slate? Yeah, he was. Lamar, that's so funny. He wasn't even 100% drafted in week 9, 98.8. So
That's
Lamar
the highest
was,
stack, by the way.
what's that? Oh, yeah,
Flowers
that makes
Jackson.
sense. Lamar, 98.8, 7,580 teams for Lamar in week 9. And only 1,643 of those had Zay Flowers in week 9. I don't remember who they were playing. I don't remember the context of that game, but and it ended up coming in lower than whatever the projected ownership would have been.
Uh-huh.
And it was on the winning team. Hawkberg wins with Alvin, Kamara, Devon, Achane, Brock Bowers, Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. And our friend, that was the week he took second.
Yeah, I got fifth. I got fifth there.
Oh, look, and Tenor right here with the aforementioned stack.
Yep.
All right, well, there we go.
Somebody asked about Pickens, Flowers. They're like 5-6%. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, Zay was not drafted 100% that week, not even close. And won't be 100% drafted this week either, but his occurrence, oh, here we go. Let's not drop the baby. Let's do a McCaffrey team.
Josh Allen, come on.
Wait, no
really,
Pat Barnes?
I'm not saying this as a Chiefs homer. Allen is, I just like, how does he get 25 points? No one gets no one does that against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
They don't even want to. I want to take. I do. Here's another good no baller. I do think if you're doing 150 teams, I do think you want like 5 Anthony Richardson teams.
Oh, uh-huh.
He's gonna be. Well, first off, he was not clicked at all for the first 3 days the contest was open. You know that already.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I actually took some Josh Downs the day the contest was open, which is not great.
Is he hurt?
Well, he's playing. He's basically hurt because he's playing with a guy who can't throw.
Anthony Richardson. Would you like to guess the percentage my stuff is drafting him at the moment?
0?
Yeah, 0.
0.1.
Well, then we haven't projected at almost 10%, so he's getting overowned.
He's getting overowned.
I wonder if
That might be an
is
artifact of the way I'm building too, by the way.
What is he in all your projection sources?
That's a good question. I should check that. And there are also particulars about how I do this stuff to make it faster that might be biased against the lowest projected quarterbacks, to be fair. Richardson. Let's see how many I have him. No, not there, you dumbass.
He shouldn't be projected that low. People are.
I mean, he could still run, right? He's not. Legs aren't hurt, are they?
Yeah, he can still run.
I have him in all my sources, but his average projection is quite low. I guess
It's really low.
It's low, yeah.
People are over Anthony Richardson. They're over the Anthony Richardson experiment, and they shouldn't be. Oh, Patrick Barnes YouTube logged off, bro. He said enough. Hawkberg. This is the week 9 winner right here.
Oh, nice.
No, we don't want to draft with him, dude.
No, I mean it's good for content. Bad for EV.
Get out of here, Hawkberg. I need more.
Unless he's going to
more
donate
feedback.
some EV back.
Hawkberg, how about you come and buy 50 YouTube memberships like Peter did? Brian, I also just realized I forgot to click the Endgame Syndicate button when I created the stream this week.
Whatever. That's fine. Actually, we were talking to Pat last night, Pat Mayo, and he was saying that hurts aren't your numbers really bad.
Interesting. Your numbers?
Just YouTube doesn't like it, so we're gonna get less views if we split up the stream.
You can experiment with that.
It's kind of interesting because I do the split stream with Liam, and my numbers are not that bad at it. You never know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I told him that. I go, Davis doesn't think so. And he goes, well, he's wrong.
Well, it might not be good for your channel. It's fine for my channel.
Yeah, it could be.
Well,
Who knows?
you were telling us you were getting like lower than the normal views on this.
Well, I'm getting lower than normal views right now because they're over it. They're over fantasy football.
but you were saying this weeks ago.
Okay, here we go. Running backs leading the charge. Breece Hall in first at the moment. Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, very close in my stuff. Then there's a jump, and then it's Jonathan Taylor and Jahmyr Gibbs. But it's horny for running back right now.
Any of those guys are fine. Just no Puka.
Take Breece. Okay, now that Breece is taken, it likes Kelsey.
Brian's not going to like Kelsey, though.
Why not?
How's the combo action?
Yeah, they're a little over than 26%.
It's a pretty expensive jump to the next thing, according to my stuff. It's like a few dollars. So this might be one of those where it's like, well, too bad, so sad. So Kelsey it is. All right.
Yeah, it's a little high. So we're gonna go with 16%, right? 16%'s about right for combos. So like anything dramatic.
Right, without any other information, yeah.
Without any other information. They're at 26, so not great. I would say anything like 30 or something, you probably should pick somebody else.
Yeah. Unless there's a really good reason for that 30. That's hard to avoid. But I don't know what that would be. Oh,
Why didn't Brian tell me that last week when I took Garrett Wilson on stream? I had the nuts.
I mean, to be fair, we should all know. We should know that Rodgers was not going to be focused the week after the Trump victory, man. That's kind of on us.
Right. Probably stayed up partying all night.
Partying at
No, not partying, strategizing, dude. You think Rodgers is not getting a cabinet position? You're out of your mind.
Well, we can only hope.
He's gonna be. Trump's gonna invent a new department for him. The Department of Information or something. Rodgers needs to be part of the state-sponsored apparatus, I think, at this point. All right. It's going to want Mahomes on this team at the next turn, I predict. Tell the computer. I don't want
how
Devontae
scared.
Adams.
Do you know what Adams? I'll just ignore Adams. Yeah, it does seem to be pumping Adams a lot in the later rounds.
Buddy, RFK is the Secretary of Health. Learn ball.
Not yet.
Okay, so as you mentioned, it wants Mahomes. So why don't you lock in Mahomes, and I'll let it cook on the next guy.
Yeah.
So actually,
I just don't like two Jets. One Jet already kind of feels like playing with fire.
I get it. It likes Khalil, Shakir. It likes Drake London.
I bet it does. Like Khalil Shakir.
I'm ignoring Adams, and then
no, we could take Shakir.
Yeah. Okay, Shakir it is.
I just want people to know that every week I literally do things that make me feel gross inside, just so that Brian's computer will tell me that I played good. This is a good question. Do we also see Allen Lazard retire if Rodgers gets a cabinet position?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, they're peas in a pod, right?
Yeah, Randall Cobb gets a job. Mercedes Lewis gets a job. Mike McCarthy's going to need a job here.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who's? Why can I not think of that? The white wide receiver who actually was good and got tons of fantasy points.
Jordy Nelson.
Jordy Nelson
went from my alma mater and from my neck of the woods. Great guy. Trust me, Jordy Nelson is not. He's not going to DC, man. You can't kill deer in DC.
Well, they're gonna move the departments outside of DC. Haven't you heard? Put one in Jordy Nelson's neck of the woods.
Yeah, there's a great quote from Vivek today about all the damage that unelected officials have done after being appointed to an unelected official position. It was a good Vivek bit. Jeff Janis should get the call. You want to talk about a former Rodgers teammate who probably believes in everything the same as him politically. Jeff Janis is woke. All right.
Danica Patrick.
No, I think they're not woke.
They're definitely not together anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah. Khalil Shakir, huh?
Something Davis has never answered. Who's your wide receiver number one? Davis has never said Khalil Shakir before today.
My wide receiver number one.
Isn't this your wide receiver? How many wide receivers do you have? I thought he was your first wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
In that sense, yes.
Yeah. Who's your number one wide receiver, Davis? Khalil Shakir.
Sick, Jason.
What did you like? Did he pick like all swing states parlay or something?
No, he shipped a Solana meme coin.
It's saying Cortland Sutton, Calvin Ridley, and then the Jet who shall not be named.
All right, we could do Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton's the wide receiver one on this team now.
Okay. Yeah. All right. EV estimate?
Should be high.
Yeah, this should be a $13 and 38 cents.
Wow, $12.38.
Oh wow! The Sims are starting to get in Davis's head.
Right, I got half an hour left till I have a hard out in half an hour.
Okay, perfect.
Violin maintenance.
Oh wow, violin maintenance. Well, that's great because then I can set up and we can start doing some playoff drafts.
Nice.
Are you taking it in, or can you do it yourself?
Oh
Yeah.
God, no. I actually tried to fix something myself, and a little piece broke in my hand. So like I'm totally gun shy now.
Yeah.
It scares the crap out of me. It's my son's violin, but they're so freaking delicate. I mean,
yeah. My mom bought me one years ago. I fixed it myself and had a lot of problems with it.
yeah. But we've got a really good guy, but he's like 50-minute drive from my house, so it's a little bit annoying. But
up in the mountains.
this guy is like Ollivander, but violins. Like his shop, there's like crap everywhere. Like it's this gray haired. It's just totally. My wife was the first to figure that out. She's like, he's totally Ollivander. I'm like, you're right, he is.
Damn, that's so millennial coded of you.
I know.
Do they call them Luthers too for violin?
Luthier, yeah, depending on what language, what pronunciation, yeah. It is not a Stradivarius. It's a very good.
Stradihuvius?
It's a Chinese-made violin.
Davis got that joke.
It's a pretty good one. The Chinese violin used to be crap, but they figured out a lot of stuff in the last 20 years. So like you can find some actually pretty good ones now.
It's so funny you say that. I just read a long Twitter thread. I'm gonna take Achane.
Okay.
I just read a long Twitter thread about why American-made clothes are shitty now. Not all shitty, but you find sweatshop shitty clothes made in America and good, like high-end, nicely made clothing made in China now.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Obama.
The best violins are generally not made in China. It's just that like the floor has been raised. Like the quality. This is not a cheap violin. This is like a medium expensive violin.
Where if I were to commission or not commission, consumer face, I want to buy the most expensive violin in the world that is like made this year. Where do I go to get it? Like
there's a lot of different places that'll make you, but like a super high quality, say, replica of like a Stradivarius, like a modern one, would be about as much as a new car. It might be $20,000-$30,000.
What country would I purchase it from?
Could be any. There are lots of different makers around. So,
Patrick Barnes' YouTube is back, taking Kamara.
Yeah.
He had to go to the bathroom or something. Something must have happened for him to miss one of your drafts.
Okay, it's saying Walker, Taylor, Lamar, Breece Hall, Josh Allen. It's basically giving up on life, and it's like, fuck it, just take some guy.
Hold on.
when you don't get Kamara, it's just what's the point?
You can take any of those guys.
You've just donated it. I'm taking Lamar.
Okay. So the funny thing about Stradivarius, several years ago, there's this very famous study where they did a blind test. People playing Stradivarius and then playing replicas and voting on which they like better. And the replicas won. And this made some people very, very mad, which I think is really interesting. But I always thought that the takeaway from that was always the wrong one. Everyone's like, oh, like, they're not as good as everybody thinks. It's all this stuff. And my takeaway was like, they still scored really high, which is super impressive for a guy making shit with like no modern materials, no modern tools, and like made these amazing instruments that are like almost as good as what you could make today. Is like actually super impressive. Anyway.
Isn't the idea that they were made with like, oh, here, let's do this first.
I'm just saying Breece, Walker, JT, Devontae is a little lower, and we're not doing that. Nobody's taking Devontae here.
All right, I'm taking Walker.
Okay.
Isn't the idea? I read this once that it's the actual wood that it was made out of. Like at the time there was, I don't remember what country he's from, but that there was some confluence of rain and sun or whatever that just made the wood itself like perfect.
So I'm far from an expert on this, but my understanding is the wood is a significant factor. Yeah, it is a big part of it. But modern material science, they're just gonna like figure all
They
of
can
that
just
shit out.
why not just 3D print it?
Yeah,
why not just replicate it at a cellular level?
I don't know how they do these things now, but like, yeah. But there's like not a super high correlation between price and quality once you get past a certain point. Like,
I believe that.
Like, you could get a great violin for $8,000 if you look around, like a really great one, or you could get a great one for $30,000, or you could get a Stradivarius loaned to you that's worth $1 million, and then pay a lot in insurance. It's saying Drake London here. Then it says Devontae. We're going to ignore that. And then it has Mark Andrews, if you want to grab him now.
Why do you hate Drake London, Davis?
Unironically, Patrick Surtain, bro.
Uh-huh.
Normally, I don't care about stuff like that, but I think Courtland Sutton is better, or Drake London's better than him and could get whatever he wants, but it influences what teams do against Denver. They game plan to throw the ball away from him on purpose. Wood isn't what it used to be. Too many really old trees are gone.
I think wood is like birds. Wood isn't real, actually. It's made.
You know where the world is running out of cork. Cork is a non-renewable resource. Really? It comes from a tree. Yeah, we're running out of cork. You never know where the super secret sim stream is going to go.
Well, this is why you need to be drinking raw milk, right?
True.
Okay. It's saying Drake, Calvin Ridley, Cooper Kupp, Devontae.
All right, there. I was waiting for the computer to just finally give me permission to take Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, he's in there. It's a little lower than the others, but not by much.
Yeah. Mooney could be a very good pick if I'm right. Not that I'm not going to take any Drake London, but I know I will take Drake London on my own, so I don't want to have 7 teams that I drafted with Dan that all have Drake London on them.
Fair enough.
We're also running out of helium.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Resource. You want to know another thing that's crazy? There's a finite amount of aluminum on this world, and for a finite resource, aluminum, insanely cheap. I mean, you could just get it. You just buy the rolls of it, you throw them away.
Really? We're running out of that? I thought the dominating thing with aluminum was energy, not the aluminum itself. That it's an energy-intensive process to make.
I have no idea, but it is technically it is a non-renewable resource.
Interesting. Well, good news. We're never going to run out of silicon. So,
good point. I'm curious if it wants us to take Flowers when we already have Andrews or not. Probably. Oh, he already went. No, he's there.
It'll probably recommend it with some frequency. We'll see if it thinks number 1. Okay, Bo next goes. So let's see. So it's saying Adams, Ridley, London, and Flowers in that order. Now it says Flowers first, but it's so tight I can tell it's mixing. So sometimes Zay, sometimes not Zay. It also has Shakir now, so it's like literally 10 cents this week. It's a 10-cent difference, so it's basically saying flip a coin.
Yeah, my favorite wide receiver. He's a lock. You can't get enough of him. Why not?
Oh, Mr. Ridley?
No, I took.
Oh, you took Adams. Okay. All right. So
what's crazy is that I know from just looking at projections that Adams and Wilson are like right next to each other, and we've not had a Garrett Wilson recommendation yet.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Interesting. All right, what do you think it's worth?
Oh, I followed it to a T on this one.
Yeah, so it's got to be over 10.
Yeah, this is going to be
let's say
team.
14, yeah.
$5.18 for him. And I don't know why. I guess you just I don't know.
Maybe it just decided that Lamar's not getting it done this week.
Yeah, it's true that all raw metals and all raw materials are in theory non-renewable, but I mean, we're never going to run out of silicon. We're never going to run out of salt. There's some
Well, yeah,
things-
because salt comes back, like salt cycles back around.
Yeah, well, you just dig a hole anywhere and you get tons and tons of salt.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about? We could get into some real woke stuff talking about populations of the Earth.
Oh, geez. Yeah, the helium one actually hit me personally once, and this was a while ago. And my kid had like a birthday party, and I went to buy one of these helium tanks. I'm like, this stuff isn't lifting that much. They were mixing the helium with air, so like the tank wasn't even pure helium. It was like just enough to sort of have it float for a little while. I'm like, this stuff sucks. And it was expensive.
Yeah, and they don't give you much to begin with.
Nope.
The whole world's gone woke. Yeah, technically on a long enough timeline, oil is a renewable resource if you think about it.
Well, not really though, because my understanding is a lot of these fossil fuels were made because there weren't enough organisms around that would have broken down the raw materials. So like all the pressure crushed the dead trees and made coal and oil and shit. But like now, like if humanity is wiped out by the singularity, like that wouldn't happen now because there's enough microorganisms that would just break down all of that stuff instead. So you wouldn't actually get oil, but I don't know.
Oil was made by dinosaurs. There's no more dinosaurs around, so
it can only be. I watched a cartoon when I was 7, and it told me it was made out of dinosaurs.
Yeah, mostly trees, I think. Okay.
All right. Should we just take?
Choose your own adventure.
I'm gonna take Jefferson on this one.
Okay. Just anecdotally, and I mean, your drafts are not typical because people jump in because of the stream, but Kamara has moved up relative to the ADP printed on Underdog because it was like 8 point something, and I feel like he's been going like around 5, 6, 7 ish so far.
The old forests needed for oil have all been cut for Stradivariuses.
Yes.
Well,
do you know what the most expensive Stradivarius instrument is? Actually, generally a viola, and it's strictly a scarcity thing. He just didn't make many of them, and those are super expensive.
There you go. ETR content came out. Kamara's ranked top 3.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's so funny in all sports how obvious the ETR impact is. Like, it really is just so funny. Like, oh, ETR came out for NBA. The next 10 drafts you're in, people are just straight drafting off their rankings.
Yeah.
All right. The dream is alive if SplasCon.
God.
All right.
Damn it.
Gosh darn it. I am going to take Kyren, though, because that's just a harder combo.
That's who it's recommending, Kyren. Yeah.
Okay.
Kyren is first in the list.
Kyren is, generally that profile of running back of like a legit 20-point projection, not often available in the second round of these drafts.
No.
Kyren and Jefferson are drafted 32% of the time. So
really, that's way higher than I would have guessed.
Well, basically that makes sense to me because Jefferson is drafted here where Achane goes, and Kyren is normally drafted here. So anytime a user deviates at 5, 6, 7, 8,
you get to pick them up.
The person does what I do, which is, this is a unique combo.
Well, it's also, even so, it's like more than $1 difference. So it's probably worth just getting it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I like this start. The thing that I don't like taking Darnold in general. So the thing that is tricky when you take Jefferson in these contests is you have to figure out your stack. Like, it's the meta has changed a little bit, because like, you take Tyreek, you take Tua. Well, not really. Tua sucks. You take CD, you take Dak. Well, not really, because CD sucks and Dak sucks. But like, the non. This is our first non-hurt slate in a while, but the non-hurt slates are interesting too.
It's funny. Hurts in all my stuff seem to always get drafted earlier than my stuff wanted. From what I recall. Okay, now it says Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker. Then a jump. Then Purdy, Jacobs, Swift.
Purdy?
I know, that's weird. No, he just dropped. It says Hall, Walker, jump, Jacobs, Swift, Jones. It really wants a running back here.
Man, I'm gonna know that if I find a shipper with Breece Hall, it's almost certainly gonna be
from this
stream.
Yeah.
Third round, Breece Hall. He's fallen, huh?
First rounder last week. Not, how do you reconcile these things?
I wonder how well you could do in these with just like a stupid Oppo model where you just anybody who sucked last week, like you just more inclined to draft. Like how much of that effect do you see that is beyond what people should be doing? Do you think, Davis, where people are just like, this guy fucking sucked last week, I'm not getting him?
I would say that is a print money button in this contest. Guy who sucked last week, who projects well next week. Like, obviously it can't be guy who sucked last week and his quarterback died or there's some other conflict factor. But guy who sucked last week who projects good the next week, you just take that guy 1,000,000,000% of the time. You have gained infinite Sklansky's.
Yeah, it seemed like this should be the kind of thing. Because, I mean, that used to be much more the case in traditional DFS.
Yeah.
It was just like, especially for a while, golf with the rounds, like the showdown golf. It's like round 2, the guy puts up a terrible score, and then he goes way under own the next round. But that people have wised up to that or gone broke. Not
all right. Skip Adams.
Skipping Adams. It's actually not the top. Well, now it is. Okay, it's saying Purdy, Darnold, Kittle. Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is up there.
Let's do Kittle.
Okay.
All right. Should be relatively unique to get him after ADP, and maybe we get Purdy pushed back around. All right. No, I like this one. This is a cook.
Somebody just took Debo, so there's a good chance he takes Purdy on his next pick. We'll see. Oh, there goes Purdy. Why?
Patrick, because he's Patrick Barnes' YouTube, bro.
I guess that's not bad. I mean, it is. He is a top.
He's got him with
quarterback.
He has him with McCaffrey.
Oh, okay. There you go. That makes sense. Duh. Yeah, he's got the first pick. Duh.
Man, I played way more McCaffrey than the field last week in salary cap DFS. No justice. No justice, Brian.
What is George Kittle's nickname?
Does he have one?
In Madden, he does.
Okay, DK Metcalf goes. So it's saying Shakir, Drake London, Cortland Sutton, Garrett Wilson.
You know what?
It's saying Sutton Wilson tied.
Let's take Sutton and then we'll do Bo Nix.
Oh, okay. I like it. Yeah, there's a lot of options at this node where it's just mixing. They're all.
Oh, node! I'm bringing that back. I'm bringing that. I say that part of the game tree a lot, which doesn't even make sense for best ball. But I'm gonna start saying node again. You just awoke something in my brain, Dan. I haven't said node in years. I'm about to bring node back to these streets.
Game theory rears its ugly head.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't. That is beautiful, man. I can't wait.
You've heard of the woke mind virus. This is the game.
Is the node
this is the graph theory mind virus.
Incredible. Awen earlier in the Badge Bros Discord, he said he wouldn't watch the Endgame Syndicate roundtable from yesterday because it was too long.
Oh, they've got this cool thing that they added a while back called like fast forward button though. Plus, you can like surf
Well,
around.
I was more making fun of him for having a broken Gen Z brain that thinks 1 hour of content is too long.
Fair enough.
I like longer the better. Like if I check my podcast feed and one of my favorite podcasts has a 6-hour episode, I'm like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
And guess who it wants?
Does it want Knicks or Darnold?
It wants Knicks.
Ship it.
Yep. By a pretty decent margin.
Use AI to summarize your video. Pick the best players. Yeah.
That is a lot of it. I would say it's more don't punt off your EV by like losing tons
Are Joe Rogan podcasts very long? I've never listened to one. Are they quite long?
Yeah, they're all 3 hours at least.
And yeah. It's been a while for me. I have to go in about 8 minutes. But yes, the EV of this last one, what do you think?
That one low, 417.
Nah, $10.
$10.84.
Ooh.
Very good.
It's a good thing we didn't stream on Endgame because Adam and Neil are live right now.
Doing Showdown?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not very good at coordinating in this company.
No.
or making thumbnails. Graphic design is not the passion of the people at the Endgame Syndicate.
You're like an honorary blind person, basically. So bad.
Our views are kind of low from that show yesterday.
They are
784. We usually get a couple thousand. I guess it takes a while though.
It does. Mid-season.
Gotta make some timestamps. The timestamps are big. You gotta have chapters for people.
Chapters. Yeah, we should probably.
I mean, YouTube is such a fickle beast. Like Brian last week. Here, I can pull it up. Well, no one relatively is watching the DFS video this week. I think because the thumbnail is different. But last week, Brian, our take cast that you and I did on the election got 1,800 views, 100 comments. This week's
A lot of comments. It's a lot of comments.
A lot of comments. Yeah, I mean, and I knew that would happen. It was pretty inflammatory. But this week's TakeCast, 346 views on YouTube. Now, no one. It's interesting. The native listeners to the TakeCast, it's all podcasts. So it's like anyone. Oh, Derrick Henry at 4. No, let's do Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara. No.
The people have been listening to the TakeCast forever, listen to it on podcasts. So anyone who finds it on YouTube is like a new viewer, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So are we going to do a new channel this year for Star Wars and stuff?
Here's the deal. I don't have any time to like do it right, to make the thumbnails and everything.
I know, but who cares?
I do, because I don't want to do it. Now that I know how YouTube works, I don't want to half-ass a YouTube channel.
Get that.
Now, Brian, what we could do is we could do a couple episodes and put it on the TakeCast YouTube just as it exists now.
Yeah.
Just make them free.
All right. Yeah, it wants Kyren.
That is a hot start. So that is a unique
Kamara,
combo.
Kamara Kyren is very strong, it seems like.
Yeah. And that will be a very unique combo, Brian.
Kamara who?
Kyren. Going forward, it will be more unique.
Yeah.
Because Kamara's moved up. It might not be super unique this second.
Right.
But
no, it
pretty
should
unique.
Be,
is it already?
We took Kamara way ahead of ADP.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And then we'll just, we'll wrap this one up. We'll take Khalil Shakir, and Dan's computer will say, dude, you're rich.
It will print out the address of the Sklansky buck.
You know what I was thinking? Last week's team, the winner could have theoretically been auto-drafted off ADP.
Oh wow. Yeah,
I was thinking about it.
It's so hard to win in a week like that, right?
Because I was thinking, so Connor's the running back 12. So if every other team in your draft took 2 running backs and they took them in the preference order that left Connor at the top of the queue, it obviously it's the monkey could type Shakespeare hypothesis. Like in reality, this would have never happened. But theoretically, the way they were set up, it could have been auto drafted last week's winner. All right, it's gonna want. Maybe it'll want Kittle or Bowers.
Okay, we're ignoring Adams. It's saying Njoku, Wilson, Kittle, Hill, Tyreek, Shakir. It's got a lot of choices. It likes Njoku and Wilson the best.
I'm gonna do.
But now it's saying Bowers. It can't make up its mind.
Bowers.
So
Let's do Bowers.
It likes a lot of things at the moment.
All right, there we go. I think we're in the pathway to wealth.
Nice.
God, I hope so. I got playoff contests to pay for.
Bowers is due too, huh?
Well, does going on buy reset your due counter or make you even more due?
Oh, good
That's
question.
a very good question.
I feel like mathematicians have been trying to solve that for ages.
Okay, it's listing a bunch of quarterbacks here, which is weird as fuck. Why?
No, I'm not. I'll have 10% Adams.
Garrett Wilson is up there. Bo Nix, Garrett Wilson, and then a bunch. It's confused. It's like, dude, I like your spot. You can do whatever you want.
Let's do Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah, he got a TD last time, huh, Bowers? It's kind of tough to say that. He hasn't done much this year, though. That's for sure.
Yeah. ATX.
I mean, I guess he had a 3-game run here of 8 catches, 9 catches, 10 catches.
Oh, he's been awesome. He plays for a shitty team. So if you're a great player,
Not a lot of runs or TDs. I mean, yards or TDs, though.
Yeah. All right. Well, what quarterback do I want with this team? Because I don't want Rodgers.
You're gonna have a lot of choices, I think.
Well, I don't. So I don't want Rodgers, and I don't want Minshew. Could do Geno with Metcalf. Could do Jameis Tillman. Could do Love with Reed. Could do Mahomes with Hopkins. Could be woke to Mahomes with Hopkins.
Huh.
Hopkins. Ooh, could do what I was talking about earlier. I wonder if I could get
like it.
I was gonna say, could I get a team worth less than $1?
You can get a negative value team. It's like not only did
I owe them more money because
you gotta pay me for the compute time at this point because it's
like you have to refund everyone else for the time they spent.
Okay, Devontae disappeared anyway, so it is saying, oh god, it's saying don't take quarterback here because the next guys both have them, so we're gonna ignore that. It's saying Drake London, Cortland Sutton, Shakir. It likes Drake the best, but you don't want that. Khalil, Shakir, Tillman is in the list. Ridley is in the list.
There we go, Tillman.
All right.
So Tillman, this will be a good experiment. Will it want me to take Jameis?
I think the answer is yes. That's my.
Or
guess.
will it want me to take Rodgers?
Probably it's going to offer both. Let's see. Oh, now I can advance it because they have their quarterbacks already. So I'm not waiting on them.
The thing you want to do is you want to add an unowned quarterback to.
I just borked my computer. Shit. You're on your own. Sorry about that. I flooded it, and now it's frozen.
He was going to take Winston anyways.
Yeah, I'm sure he is in the list because the node before this one, it listed like 5 different quarterbacks similar.
Davis just waits until you list someone he likes.
There you go.
And then if you don't list anyone, he goes, this time I'm going to override it.
You got to read the facial expression as I'm reading the names off. All right, guys, I gotta go.
All right, buddy.
All right.
We will see you for the next one.
See you soon.
All right, Brian. Let's do one you and I
Okay.
from the Nads.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to do a do team.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we'll do a do team, and then let me save this and let me do a redirect to Lols.
Yeah, we have Petty Theft on this week.
On why he retired.
Retires and then wins the 200K to first FanDuel NFL the next day.
Tough scene. Well, actually, the opposite of a tough scene.
Yeah, pretty nice scene. Pretty nice.
He didn't have to tell a bad beat story on YouTube.
No, he didn't get robbed like I did, Davis.
No, you did. You did get robbed, and that's unfortunate. Do we have a new Star Wars show soon? By the way,
Skeleton Crew should be coming out pretty soon. If you would start watching Game of Thrones again, there's a bunch of those coming out.
There's a new Dune show, Dune Prophecy.
Oh yeah, is it live action?
Yeah, it's like a prequel. Dune Prophecy comes out on November. Oh, literally this weekend.
December 3rd is Skeleton Crew.
Okay.
There's what was I gonna say? Oh, do you like Silo? You gotta watch.
I've never seen it.
You gotta watch Silo.
We should. I like any science fiction, really.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Next April, I think, Tim. Yeah.
So who's gonna be our due pick at the
I don't know
tournament?
who's due up here in the top.
It's Puka feels pretty due.
Puka's pretty due.
Is Tyreek due? I mean, he hasn't.
Tyreek's definitely due.
Yeah, Tyreek's very due. It's probably no player more due. Tyreek has not had an explosion game all year.
Yeah, it's pretty rough over there though.
Well, Tyreek, he only needs one. He does have a torn ligament in his wrist.
Yeah, I think is Amon-Ra kind of due?
Yeah, but he's not. I would love for him to get to us. We need these drafters here to be lollygagging.
They're not lollygagging.
Yeah, I did just messed up. I did just mess up wrist and ligament together. Yeah, Foundation. I read all the Foundation books.
The problem though is Foundation sucks balls on Apple
Who's
TV.
due here? Tyreek is due.
Yeah, that makes sense. Tyreek in Puka. He took Puka. God damn it.
Go went.
We kind of said Bowers. Does that count for the buy or no? Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp is pretty due. That leaves us in a bad quarterback spot though. If we take
do someone else then, if you want. Just got to be due.
All right, Tyreek. I mean, Kittle's
Hall's due. By the way, Taylor was our due pick last week. By the way,
that's true. Oh, that's true. He was the top. He was the top.
Our top due pick. Yeah. So Breece Hall then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would argue Tyreek and Breece are probably the two most due guys in the National Football League right now.
It feels like Amon-Ra has not done shit. Let me look.
He really hasn't. He scored a bunch of touchdowns to stay alive, but they the Lions are too good, man. Yeah, Mahomes is due, but that
Well, he keeps getting touchdowns. That's why, but not huge games.
Yeah. No, Jefferson is
yeah, we
high
said that
due.
already. Yeah.
I would say Jefferson is the number one due pick of the week. Here's the thing, dude. Sometimes the super secret computer.
we just did like how many drafts?
Yeah. Like 7, I think.
We did over an hour and a half of the super secret computer.
Yeah, Amon-Ra is getting these pity touchdowns from Man Campbell.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Other than that, though, I mean, if you're taking Amon-Ra with your first pick in your home league, you're not like super thrilled.
No, Aunt Bob and Nancy are crushing you again.
Again, it happens every year.
Every year, Bob and Nancy are just Brian. That's you're pretty good at Twitter, actually, but that's your best tweet ever.
I mean, it's the one that definitely got the most likes, so it has to be. Although sometimes I'll tweet something that gets like 6 likes, and I'm just cracking myself up. It's cracking myself.
Those are the best tweets.
Yeah. All right, who's due in our range here?
All right, due in this range.
Well, Cooper Kupp's still there.
Hawkinson feels pretty.
He's definitely due.
Yeah. All right, Hawkinson. We need a wide receiver here, so we can leave it open at quarterback. Jaden Reed? Jaden Reed is due.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's had a big game at least. That was the first week of the season, though.
Yeah. Is Calvin Ridley is not due?
Adams is due. Cooper Kupp's kind of due.
If Cooper, we're dead at quarterback if we take
Drake London's kind of due.
I'm taking DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf coming off the injury.
He hasn't really done much lately either, has he?
He had one long touchdown. Basically, he had a 70-yard touchdown in like week 4 or something.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Aunt Cara never loses the home league. She's picked by the colors she likes. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, he had a tutty last week, but then he was held scoreless 3 weeks in a row before that. Last 3 games, 4 catches, 3 catches, 4 catches.
He hasn't played since week 8.
I'm not even counting the 2 weeks he hasn't played. Or 3 weeks.
I think being injured adds to the due factor.
Yeah, that he's due. You're right. That's definitely clearly due. Oh, and he's a revenge game. If it's his birthday, then we're just will just give us the money now.
Is there revenge? I don't know. They're the 49ers. I'm just trying to think. The Seahawks are like the kid brother of the 49ers, basically.
Was it like they lost to them in the playoffs or something?
Well, they're in the same division, and
right.
They just always beat up on them.
All right. Who do we got?
Well,
what do we need?
We have to take. It would be who's more due, Gino or Tua?
Oh, they're both pretty due.
Gino, Tua, or Darnold.
They're all 3 pretty due. They haven't done shit, really. I'm fine with any of those. Who's the most due?
I mean, Tua is the most due. Tua's had like 0 good fantasy games the whole year.
Week 1, I think, was all right, but
yeah, he was.
Darnold had more better. He had like 3 or 4.
I'm taking Tua.
Okay.
Because it just wigged out on me. It's not even letting me click. You see that? It's not your turn.
It's because it's over. It clicked. And now it's just.
Yeah, if the Dolphins put up 1 billion points on the Raiders, then Tua's coming along. All right,
that team's
there
due.
we go, Brian. We can get out of here. Let me add the all due team. Do we have anything new coming on Endgame Syndicate this week?
Well, we did that video yesterday, so if anyone watched the one Davis did, we did a behind the paywall follow-up after that. That's on the website now. I think that's it. Well, we came up with an update with the draft caddy too. So like you could do.
I just realized that I since I got this new computer, I've not installed the Draft Caddy, so I need to go do that and turn it on.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I didn't notice either until right now.
Yeah. We added the 3-player combos on the settings page, so you can look at the 3-player combos. One, the ownership, the 2-player combo, 3-player combo.
All right, boys. That's going to do it for us here. Stream's ending a little bit early so that Dan can go get his Stradivarius repaired. Please go watch the DFS video this week. It looks like for whatever reason, people are not as woke to the DFS video this week. So I would appreciate if you would do that. Make sure that you are watching LOLs over on Peter's YouTube. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow morning with Rich at 10 a.m. and then with Nez at 11 a.m. to do the Underdog Pick'em show. And we will see you all then. Have a beautiful day, everybody.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks